The first speaker that I want to introduce to you is actually a good friend of mine, Surveyor Michael Geh. Hi, Michael. Yes, Michael is from Penang, and he's currently the Malaysian chapter president for Fiabci, an international real estate federation. And Fiabci is headquartered in Paris, holds a consultative status with the United Nations Habitat of the United Nations. Michael has been around in the real estate industry. He's a household name. He's been in there for 25 years as a registered valuer and agent. And of course, now he's actually the senior partner of Rain and Horn. But when we talk, we don't really talk about properties, we talk about food. All right, so I'm sure later on we will get a lot of sharing from Michael. The next person that I want to introduce to you, this is the person that I would love to meet in person, and she is actually a well-known figure, and her resume and her profile is so long that I really have to apologize for not reading all out. But the next person is actually Dato Leong Sir Ley is basically the founder and chairman of Sheng International Group in Malaysia. All right, a property developer with diversified group in the real estate investment, acquisition and redevelopment, hotel management and services. Dato Leong is also a trained lawyer, registered from UK, and before she entered the real estate industry, and she actually owned a number of real legal firms here. Now, over the years, Dato Leong has actually carried the Malaysian flag very well in overseas, being known as a leading property tourism entrepreneur, and has won many accolades and awards, all right, recognition and achievement in the area of entrepreneurship and philanthropy. So I can't wait to hear from our developer friend here tonight. Next speaker that will be on board to share with you later on will be Miss Ammeny Chua. Hi, Ammeny. Right, Ammeny is also a friend in the speaking circuit with me in many events, and she is actually the co-founder and executive director of One World Real Estate Group, okay, with over 20 years of real estate experience. So tonight, if all these people, all the speakers combined with myself, I think we have 200 years of experience on the table, and we will share with you all we can in the next 1 hour or so. Yeah. So One World Group is also accorded the President of Business Initiative Direction and CEO, the Gold category in the International Staff for Leadership in Quality Award. Now, some of the credentials that I want to mention is that Ammeny was very instrumental in the formation of One World Toastmaster Club, a very first in the Malaysian real estate industry, and her milestone was all the way to being interviewed exclusively by MediaCorp over Channel News Asia in a program called Property Hunter. All right, so she is a very familiar figure and made a regular appearance in local media as well as newspaper. Last but not least, is a very good friend of mine, which I've known him for many years, Mr. Ryan Thoo. Hi, Ryan. Yeah, Ryan is basically the head of marketing of PropertyGuru Malaysia. So for those of you who are familiar with the name, PropertyGuru Malaysia is actually Asia's largest online property portal that is used by many, all right, more than 11 million property buyers, generating more than 350,000 inquiries for real estate developers and agency every month across Southeast Asia. And it's more even relevant now when everyone is staying at home. The portal is a very useful tool for those of you who want to get to know insights about property. So all these speakers will basically give perhaps their commentaries over the next few minutes or so, before we address the white elephant in the room. Yeah. Now, just let me give you a perspective so that everyone is on the same platform. Yeah. So we all know that property has over the years been quite soft in the Malaysian context, and accumulating to over 40,000 property overhang, if I'm not mistaken, last year. But all these are forgotten as we entered 2020, yeah, kawasan 2020. And we were hit by the oil, what do you call this, trade wars, and then came political impasse for a whole week. Whole Malaysian, everyone is actually looking into the handphone, just to get the news of our new PM8. And then before we know it, we were hit by a pandemic called COVID-19, which is still ongoing. And of course, now we are facing the recovery. Everybody is from the health crisis. We are going into, if I may say, a financial crisis. So what is there for property? Everyone needs a roof above their head. Whether you are now a student or a businessman, I think individually we need a roof above our head. And if you are doing businesses, whether it's from industrial to commercial, office, shop lots, to shopping malls or hotels, and including some of you in your own learning institution, colleges and universities. So how does this entail? And tonight, Help University is very, very well curated 4 panel speakers representing different industries, from the supply chain, all right, the valuer to developer to agency, as well as online portal. And I myself has been in the market for more than 15 years, observing the market and giving talks. So perhaps we would like to, without much further ado, would like to start by maybe bringing up the first speaker, Sr Mike Geh, on board to get to know perhaps how has the COVID-19, all right, the current market has actually impacted you. So let's address the white elephant in the room. How has it impacted you in terms of your current business and yourself? A short one before we go into some of the things that was basically talk about in Tenjana soon. Right, over to you, Michael. Michael, the screen is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, Michael.
Hi, I have, let me go through a few slides only. I'll just go in passing. Yep, next, Caroline. Okay, COVID has caused a pause in all the economic activity. Yep, and Malaysia economy has went into uncharted territories. Our government has been very proactive. Opening ceremony, 6-month moratorium, loan debt moratorium. This definitely helps a lot. Okay, I have some graph and charts to show you last year and the first quarter of this year. Next. Can I have my face a little bit at the corner there so that I can, or if I can't, then never mind. Okay, we are not alone. We are just peninsular and Sabah Sarawak, but the whole world is with help with this COVID. So that's a comforting that, you know, really I'm very happy to be locked down in Malaysia, because I think Malaysia is how to say a very country to go to. Now, is it okay? Next. Now, up to Q1 2020, there's been some drop in figures, yeah, but the property market has been quite steady the last many years. So we are in a market that. Okay. So I'm supposed to have a short commentary. So off my slides first, and then I will. Okay. Yes,
yeah, Michael, maybe you can just share with everybody how has the recent pandemic actually affected you or your business. You know, let's be realistic to everyone tonight.
Very quiet, sit in the house, but we went to online platform. Yeah, we do Zoom meeting. I've been doing a lot of Zoom meeting. I've been quite productive all the time. Got a lot of new equipments and talking to friends everywhere. So we went on online platform to do some business. Yeah. Back to you, Alan.
All right. Perhaps maybe we can hear from Dato Leong. Dato Leong, hi. How has the current pandemic? You know, I mean, I'm sure now business has reopened and commenced. So how is it on your side?
Well, for me, actually, it's a bit positive because, okay, of course, during these 3 months, 2 months plus, first it was quite bad for us because we're doing property tourism. We're inviting tourists to come to our country to visit Malaysia, and they cannot come, you see. So, because we're a developer, we have a project called the Sale. Because that time our project is doing property tourism, whereby we have 9 blocks and we are selling to different countries, and we portray this promoting Malaysia. So we are doing promotion of Malaysia. So what happened during these 3 months, we turned our marketing arm in Hong Kong, Beijing, Shanghai and Tokyo into a one-stop center. One-stop center meaning we don't go from the angle of property, we just go from the angle of education. Because property tourism meaning there is education, health, wellness, industrial, agriculture, a lot of things. We go by that angle. And things were getting better and better for us now, because we managed to see that during this crisis, a lot of people still want to come to Malaysia. It's just that they couldn't come. They are waiting. They're holding their horses. So for me, that probably I can share something like just a short video about what I'm doing, my project, and for everyone to see, so that I can elaborate more later on what I'm doing actually to overcome this pandemic. Thank you.
All right, good.
That's it. Well, this property of ours promotes a lot on Malaysia, because before the pandemic we were actually going to Hong Kong, Beijing, Tokyo, and even Shanghai to talk about Malaysia. We have been doing that for some time, and of course, with the kind of concept that we have, only we can promote such. And when we are doing all this, when this MCO comes in, of course it affected us at the first month, but the second and the third is all right. So maybe the sale we can share out, and we can tell more what kind of concept we're doing.
Sorry, Jay, Caroline, can you share your system sound as well?
Wow, impressive video, Dato.
Well, this project of mine actually, we did not create a project development just by talking of selling the project. We do it from the other angle, like education in Malaysia, wellness in Malaysia. You know, every block has its own team. Like we have a block doing wellness. We already have a retirement house from Australia that came in already. It's called the Golden Heritage Village. And we have confinement centers, and we have a group of wellness doctors, you know. All this of ours, these everything that you want. It's like heaven, you know. There's no earthquake here. You want wellness, we have it. You want retirement, we have it. You want good food, we have it also. So this is what created.
And all these are happening in Melaka soon, yeah?
Yes.
I really like your positive vibes, Dato, because you know, this is what we want, especially in these current times when everybody is uncertain about the future. And I'm glad that Sr Mike and yourself has pivoted online from business meeting to education. And I always imagine how come, you know, we have to go so far to Dubai to see some amazing architecture. But today, I think we will have something on in Melaka down south, and all the way across to Hong Kong, Shanghai, and Japan. And I really wish Sing Tai all the best. Seriously, the way you guys are pivoting to online, it truly shows the exemplary of entrepreneurship. So maybe next, we will come back to you, Dato, and Michael. Now we go to Ammeny. Ammeny, how has your business been, you know, during this pandemic, and how does it affect you anyway?
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Alan. All right. At the beginning of the MCO, then as usual in the real estate business, we actually received a lot of calls from the landlord, from the property owner. Is it the right time to sell? How can we sell the property? Then the tenants keep calling up. Okay, but of course, I mean, during these periods, what actually real estate agency that we do is we're moving a lot of things from offline to online. So this is something actually very new, and we do not need to go out, but we still selling the property from using the Google Earth. I mean, using a lot of VR and so on. So I think we're talking about new norm. New norm actually. I mean, in this COVID-19, in fact, there's a lot of business model have been changed. Luckily, in this real estate business for so many years, in fact, one word in real estate, we are not actually only focused on the real estate side, but somehow we have diversified and created another platform that actually we are helping the property owner or investors to help them to move. To actually maximize their property into a different kind of the concept, like what just now Dato have shared. So we are actually also creating our property, our tenancy management and also Airbnb management in the past. So therefore, we are able to advise and also give some positive advice to those customers which they are in fear now. All right. So this is actually what we did.
Nice to hear that from you. I recall my own self during the early days of MCO when I was interviewed by medias and whatnot. You know, every one of our stakeholders, friends in the real estate value chain are scrambling, and I guess now everybody has found a way to pivot online to do business. Instead of being stuck at home or stay at home, at least we can still do within our means in the cybersphere, you know. And I think you represented the demand side very well. At least you know that you can still reach out to your investors or buyers out there pivoting to online. Now, I've talked to 3 of them, and I think online is something that is speed up, or digitization is speed up thanks to the COVID-19. But the next speaker that will share with us on his comment, I think is to him is nothing new, you know. Online has been in the blood in the company for many years. So perhaps maybe we can get a fresh perspective of how COVID-19 has actually impacted you. Ryan, can we hear from you?
Hi everyone. Hi Dr. Alan. Thanks for having me today. So I'm going to share a bit of perspective from where we are coming from. To everyone, we are from PropertyGuru. We are the largest online marketplace and property site in Malaysia. And we are in a unique position where we're able to see where the demand and supply is coming from. But specifically for this session, I want to be able to focus on the demand and show you guys some data and some numbers and some trends so that we can all get an idea. It won't give us a full picture because at the end of the day, nobody will know what is going to happen in the next 3, 6 months, 12 months even. So hopefully these numbers and data will be able to help us to make some judgment of our own. So our lowest point was definitely when MCO hit us, but very specifically it was middle of April. That was when we observed our lowest hit. We saw 40 to 50% lower visits of PropertyGuru. That's half, much lesser in terms of people who are visiting PropertyGuru to check out properties to buy, either to buy or for rent. We also saw 30% less inquiries to properties. And now that makes sense, right? Because MCO, we're supposed to stay at home and do our job as a good citizen. So we saw that coming. But we didn't expect that the trend of people who are looking for property in the beginning to be that low. But then it all makes sense again, because if you think about it, there are so many more things in March and April that were more important than real estate. But then again, everybody found a footing together, and the good news is the month after that, visits climbed back 5% higher subsequently versus 25%, and this is even versus a year ago. So we know that property demand in general has increased. It's just that COVID brought it down a little back, but we think that we are probably on the right track to move back up, because in the past few months, we see that visits have been increasing 5-10% on the month-to-month basis all the way until May, and hopefully into June and H2.
Wow. I'm surprised to hear that from you, Ryan. I mean, you guys have been in the online portal for so long, and it's still impacted in terms of the COVID-19. But I guess the competition comes from people who are actually having time, because there's so many online webinars and Zoom here and there. Maybe they don't have that kind of time to log into the portal to do some searches, I guess.
Yeah, or maybe not in the right mood, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe not in the right mood. But it was good to see some analytics later on from you. So maybe now that we get the feel of everyone, perhaps we'll go straight and address the white elephant in the room. Now that COVID-19 has actually presented a new normal in how people are buying, or how people put their priorities, especially in a so-called non-so-fluid asset class like property. So perhaps we can start and go back to Surveyor Michael again. So perhaps you can share with us the slides that you have. What are the insights that you could share with us? And also perhaps if you can comment some on the latest announcement by the PM from Penjana, the recovery stimulus plan, because I'm sure there will be a lot of questions asked later on by the audience. So yeah, the screen is yours.
Thank you. Caroline has my screen. Can you hear me, Alan?
Yeah.
Okay. So Caroline will put my screen up. Okay. Yeah. You see, the property market is like this. The number and value of properties in Malaysia, the last up to 5 years, 5-6 years. Now, yes, at Q1, there's a dip in total number and value of transaction downwards. This is Q1 2020. So the effect has been seen in the transaction of the market. Yeah. Next slide, Caroline. Yeah. Feel free to PDF this PowerPoints and then send to everybody who requests. Yeah, these are for download for everybody. Next, please, Caroline. Yeah. This graph shows that the Malaysian All House Price Index has been a gradual rise over the last so many years, 2013. Yeah, it goes up, it never comes down. It's always higher and higher year on year. Yeah, the whole year itself may be a bit tapering, but it doesn't dip below the previous year. As you can graph here, is very clear. So it means that prices go up. It doesn't come down. It doesn't really come down. Okay, next. Okay, now I put up these slides on the overhang because I hear many times that Malaysian analysts, investment banker, a lot of people say that, or writer will say that oh, you know, Malaysia has a very big problem, number of overhang, unsold and all that. On paper, yes, these are the figures. Factually, I present them here. What I'd like to inform you between the line, I've studied them in quite detail. I got many slides on overhang, but tonight I won't show them all, okay? A lot of this overhang is developers unreleased Bumiputra unit unreleased lots, okay? In Johor, in Selangor, it can be as much as 30% to 40%. Yeah. So to be released, some with no release mechanism. And I note that many of these units are developed they are built in a semi-rural area. So in a semi-rural area, when the kampong house is only 200,000, 150,000, and the condo, the apartment there is 300,000, it's slow to sell. It's slow to sell. And it will still be slow to sell this year, going to next, yeah? So don't be so cut up by, oh, Malaysia has so much overhang. They are not, a lot of them are not in where your neighborhood is. A lot of you are staying in the matured places. They are not built and unoccupied in your area. They are built and unoccupied in a certain area that's more rural. There's a lot in Johor, Perak, Selangor side. So, yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah. Okay, next slide, Caroline. Yeah, these are, you notice 47% is condo apartment. A lot of them are built in the rural area. Yeah. Okay. Next. Okay. Well, this one is just an example, yeah, of the composition of overhang. Like I said, the green portion, the 300 to 500,000. Some of them are, many of them are built in an unsuitable location, and some of them, many of them are Bumiputra unreleased units. Okay, next. These are what I said just now. Currently, the interest mortgages are suited to first-time home buyers, home upgraders, and hometown retirement home purchasers. You get a conclusion, but we are very concluding now, is that next, in conclusion, yes, we are seeing that the hospitality, the food and beverages, the retail outlet, and office assets are adversely affected next 18 months, yeah? So what we are seeing is that the next 18 months is an era where human, business, and virus have to live together. via social distancing and these behaviors. Yes, cheaper assets will be put on the market, and a lot of people are waiting to take them up. Yep, I'm sure a lot of agents are very busy. Already this afternoon, I received a call. Is it anything good? Buy. They want to buy. There's a lot of people who are standing by to buy this asset. Shall we? A Chinese bank is. Somebody has said that prices will fall 50%, 70%. I don't think so. Yes, last year when auctions were started, compression auctions were started, when they are auctioning now at the beginning and second half, yes, the prices may have dropped, yeah, compression loan takers have their properties auctioned out, yes. Unfortunately, maybe for 50% down of the value, yes. But a lot of houses are not for sale. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen here, are your houses for sale? I don't think so, yeah. So the market will not drop, yeah, it will still be active, and at a certain price, other people would come out and buy. Okay, we are very fortunate to have a very strong banking system and a proactive central bank. Yeah. In the next 18 months, I believe there will be a property playground where the cost of mortgage is very low. The cost of purchase also is, transaction cost also is very low. So my message should be, buy your first home if you don't have one yet. Upgrade and buy your ultimate home if you wish to buy. And then you may sell your family home and then buy two in replacement, because the next 18 months, the cost of transaction and the cost of mortgage is low. It's at record low actually. Yeah.
Thank you, Michael.
Back to you.
Thank you, Michael, for the
Dr.
insightful.
Poon, Dr. Alan.
Yes, thank you, Michael, for the insightful sharing. I believe everyone will later ask you where is the property playground that you refer to. Yeah. But before we get all those questions in, perhaps we would love to now hear from Dato Leong herself as what you call this developer who is churning out a lot of supply in the market. As you were saying that a lot of overhang were in the rural. So perhaps let's hear from the developer's perspective on this current and also post MCO. What is there in stake for the market? Over to you, Dato Leong.
Okay. Well, for me, I think that even after the MCO, because we are doing foreign markets, we are not so into local markets. So what we are seeing is that the current trend is that a lot of people are waiting to come to Malaysia and buy our properties, irregardless whether the price is high or low, because of the natural terms or condition that we have here in Malaysia. So it's always a plus point. So of course, thank you, Mr. Michael, for sharing all the information. I'm thinking now to buy some homes, but what we are thinking is, of course, those people during this MCO time that their employment has been affected. So for those employment which has been affected, of course, those who have not saved enough money, they will not be able to buy another home and stuff like that. But of course, if we were to gather more collaboration together, what I'm saying is during this MCO, it's actually an opportunity because a lot of big corporates stand still. So when they stand still, it will be a time that we can join hands and work together to stimulate the property market to come. For example, like even before the MCO and after the MCO, we can see that there is people that gathers and not gathering. It's totally different. So I can show you something like in my Hong Kong branch that I have. In my Hong Kong branch that I have before the MCO, you can have a look. That this is the amount of people we have every week. At least 2 to 3 times every week we have it in Hong Kong. So they come to Malaysia. It can be 500 sometimes to 800 people per month coming from Hong Kong, Tokyo, Shanghai, and Beijing. During the MCO, look at this amount of people. We still have people coming, but it's just that they are just wearing masks and they try to not to stay so close to each other. We still have people coming, meaning people still interested in Malaysia. They are still interested in our property in Malaysia, which of course is cheaper compared to their markets. So of course, this is what I want to show. Okay, and also we have our all this. This is our one-stop center in Malaysia, and also we have our one-stop center in Hong Kong. We also have a one-stop center in Shanghai, and also in Japan at Tokyo, one-stop center, which is now called the one-stop center. One-stop 馬來西亞一條龍服務，成態嘅馬來西亞一條龍服務 which means one-stop center to service everything that you need if you come to Malaysia. This is what I can foresee, that in the future, even after MCO, a lot more people will come and they will want to use our one-stop center overseas to convenient them to stay here either full-time or just part-time maybe, because the MM2H that we have here doesn't mean that you have to let go of your true identity. You still keep your passport. You have another 10 years visa over here. So it's more like, you know, they will come here, but they will take this place as like a retirement place or like a vacation place. Even for working, they might not just work full-time. They will have a few hours of working, the rest is leisure. So after MCO, I think it will still continue to progress, that our property will still have its value.
Fantastic, Dato Leong. I really concur with you in terms of tourism. I think the market will be back. I don't think tourism will be dead. Just to also see some synergy with Surveyor Michael, in the next 18 months or so, I think tourism, as long as the borders are open, I think people will come back, because I truly believe that Malaysia presents a very good opportunity for a lot of investors. So as well as for those who are considering MM2H, our country is filled with, you know, I would say undervalued properties, as well as also a lifestyle where they can come in and blend in with different languages and foods especially. Thank you for your sharing, Dr. Leong. Next, we would like to also hear from perhaps the demand side, knowing that there is a secondary market, attractiveness, as well as from the developer side. Perhaps Ms. Ammeny, you can share your views of the outlook in the property market when it comes to some demands, since you are dealing with the secondary side in terms of purchase as well as also the rental. Over to you.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Dr. Alan. All right. Let me on my slides. Okay.
We are seeing nothing yet on the screen.
Yeah, I'm not sure why actually I can't.
Right.
Nothing yet? Can y'all see now?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So good evening, everyone. And I think about the property markets, a lot of people ask me whether the property going to be crashed, okay, during this time. So this have been I would say that this will be the third crisis that actually I am actually going through it now. Okay, so what do I see in the market is that when people always say that actually there's a crisis, definitely it comes together. There's a risk and there's an opportunity. So to me, I think definitely this time is when we are talking about property. So in fact, for the past 2-3 weeks, so I have a lot of investors start to call me, especially last week when the HOC is back. Okay, so stamp duty exemption, then also on the third property. In fact, we are actually allowed to get a higher gearing, okay, on 90%. So definitely this is the part that actually I'm seeing it as an opportunity than the crisis. So definitely also what a lot of people also share about the overhang property in Malaysia, but somehow I totally agreed with what Mr. Michael just shared just now. So everyone are fear at this moment, but somehow there's a lot of people also waiting into going into the market. So with that, so what kind of property that actually we should look into it? Okay, so with this, I will share a little bit about my experience in the 2008, which I bought about 10 property. So during the crisis, so which a lot of people, they say they would just they still want to wait, and they want to wait until the property price come down. Okay, this it's not actually happening in Malaysia because I have been in real estate for 25 years. So what is the opportunity during the crisis? As long as we are able to stay along the line of safe zone, all right? So definitely some people that they might not so lucky, they are actually buying at the peak, okay? But when we look at Malaysia property price and also the chart that actually just now we saw from this Mr. Michael, in Malaysia, our property is gradually actually go up. Okay, there's no actually the sense of it's go down just like a very sharp coming down. You see, so as long as we stay at this this kind of the zone, all right. So we are talking about the safe zone. So anytime is a good time for us to go in. When we talk about property investment, so we can't wait for the right time, but we need to find the right place and also work with the right people. This is a very important secret. Okay, when we are doing the property investment, we're talking about with this COVID-19 crisis, the world going to reshuffle. Many things have been changes. Many things actually is changing, okay? But a lot of foreigners are still looking to come into Malaysia, especially the past 1-2 weeks. I have a group of Hong Kong people are just waiting to come in when our door are open. Then they wanted to come in and they want to invest and they want to apply for the MM2H. Okay, what will be the opportunity after the post COVID-19? I will say that we can't we can't work alone already. We need to work together with those people that they are queuing up to go in on a bulk deal, so that we are able to get fire sales as well. All right. So these are the 3 different kind of opportunity that I see in 2008. And now we are talking about the property below market value. So these are the property that actually will exit, and also it will be helping a lot of people to go in, especially those new buyers in the market. So we are talking about super deal. There will be quite a lot of super deal during these 18 months, especially this next 1 year. Okay, so definitely for investment, if you are the first time buyer, then we need to look for good location, matured neighborhood, extremely low risk property. Some property at the moment, we can say that actually for some property investor group, they are actually getting a very good deal. Okay, what is a good deal? So this kind of property is actually going off for 20 to 30% rebate. All right. So probably if you are the investor or you are the buyer, first time buyer, when you go in, immediately you can make some returns already. Your property can find a tenant, and the tenant are able to help you to pay your installments. So and also the RPGT saving at this time. Okay, so this is the tactic that number 1 when you go into investment. So then another tactic 2 is actually what I see is the cash out model. So when you are the first time buyer, you'll be able to get a 90% loan. All right. So then you can help yourself to take the cash flow to help you to pay the installment for the next 3 to 5 years. And probably you have some debts, okay? So this is a good time that actually you can take the money for the to settle some of the debts, and also the reinvestment. Okay, with the extra money that you can also work with a friends or some family member that actually to buy some good deals, then wait for the property to appreciate. Okay, and also make it as a habit that to have a forced saving, okay, by investing in the property and not actually invest in other things. Okay, so definitely some people actually see it as an opportunity, but some actually see it as probably is a risk. Okay, but definitely in the real estate for 25 years, I will say that this crisis will change a lot of people's life if you take action. Okay, so remove the fear. Don't listen to a lot of experts say, "Wow, this time the property market going to crash." In Malaysia, so far in the history, there's no this kind of sign yet. All right, so don't focus in wrong thing. So always actually when you want to do investment, always do your study and do research. Okay, and build your confidence. Don't wait to buy, but buy to wait. Okay, this is a very important key for when you want to enter into a real estate market at this time. Okay, so basically this is my sharing. Okay, and once again, my name is Ammeny. Okay, if you actually have something that actually you want to ask later, okay, you can also PM me at my phone number. Thank you so much. So back to you.
Thank you, Ammeny. Also another insightful sharing. And I believe for those of you audience who are watching tonight, I think you see some synergy here from Sr Michael all the way to Dato Leong and Ammeny. And Ammeny has been rightfully said that, over the past 25 years, there is a lot of up and downs, but usually you can't see a crash of up to 70%, like what Sr Michael was saying. You can get good rebates. It's also time to hunt. And I believe in the formula of luck favors those who are prepared, and when the opportunity comes, that's where you go in. I think the time is also now. So let's see whether the other three speakers that have shared, whether they are inconsistent with some of the statistics that we'll be looking at. And I believe the next session that I'm going to pass the screen to, Ryan will basically show you the numbers. And the screen is all yours, Ryan.
Thanks. Okay, let me know if you can't see my screen or hear me. So I'm going to share with you guys the property market from our perspective, and we want to highlight 3 trends that we have sort of seeing from our data. So the first of the 3 trends would be that demand is coming back. Now, why do I say that demand is coming back? So as the leading and largest property site in Malaysia, we are in a very unique position where we have a lot of real estate data on a daily basis. So we sort of want to be able to bring this insights to you guys, and we created this thing called Malaysia Property Market Index. So we take all of our property listings, about 450,000 of them, and we aggregate index them to show what kind of movement are we getting from the supply side. Because we definitely know what's going to happen in terms of the transaction data, but we also know that there is a timing issue with it, with the delay, and also the fact that that's a sort of lagging indicator. If you want to be able to see what the leading indicator is with the Malaysia Property Market Index, proprietary to PropertyGuru. So this shows the seller sentiment and the kind of price level that sellers, so developers and owners, would feel they can get from their respective properties. So this index reflects the most recent Q1 2020 price trend relative to a reference point of Q4 2016. And you've seen that the amount of the level of asking price, which by the way is very different from transacted price, is coming down. But you see a small sign of hope in Q1 2020. Unfortunately, COVID happened. So in overall total, the property market showed an upswing in sentiment prior to the COVID-19 outbreak. But what we also wanted to find out is if it COVID affected property or not. So we double-clicked into that and zoomed into the months of March, April, May. Obviously, in March, the total site traffic to residential properties on propertyguru.com.my dropped by about 9% in March. But surprisingly, in April, it stayed pretty stagnant, so which means that it's probably bottoming out. And then just last month, as soon as we got the data last week, we saw that actually growth climbed back up to just a negative 2%. Now that's almost a 5-fold improvement. So with this, I can almost safely say that trend is leaning towards the fact that, well, demand is coming back. Trend number 2 is that demand is online. Why do we say this? So we did a study recently, and this was just January 2020, so it should be pretty accurate. So what we're getting is that more Malaysians use property portals online for information on buying or renting rather than the other means of channel. Now, it doesn't mean that they don't go to other channels, it just means that which one do they lean towards, because as a whole, you wouldn't make a decision based on a single information source or a single channel. You want to be able to get a fair distribution of who you talk to and who you go to. But what we've been saying is increasing number of people, especially if you look at the table on the right, people who are younger in terms of age are leaning more towards property portals online to understand, okay, what is it? Do I want to buy? Is this the right time to buy now? Am I buying the right price? So we can see all the other factors. And what's interesting is that if you see the green tick in the middle of the screen, it shows that developer websites and word of mouth from people around you are actually indicating a significant difference versus total. So it means it's increasing. So which is a good place to start. So it still shows the trend of that demand is online. Third trend is that locations are being decentralized. Now we look at our March data. So this was when MCO was announced, COVID was at its peak in Malaysia, and we wanted to see what kind of demand, traffic to our page, our different location pages we were getting. So it turns out that in March, traffic to Klang Valley, so Kuala Lumpur and Selangor, Klang Valley properties dropped by 7.9%. Pahang grew by 2.7%. Melaka grew by 7.2%. Perak 16.6%. I think you guys are starting to see the trend here, right? Putrajaya grew by 30.6%, and lastly, Negeri Sembilan grew by 70%. And this is only in March. This was before we really understood what the pandemic meant for us. We realized what work from home really meant for us, because that's a lot of first time for a lot of people, and whether we actually even decided that actually we can work from home more often. And hence, we actually don't need to be working very centrally. We don't need to be always in KL all the time. We could stay in, say, Negeri Sembilan, as shown the numbers here, or we can potentially move out to other states where there are actually equal opportunities if we go online more often, such as to the earlier discussions, Melaka. So I think this has helped a lot in helping us look at the trend that, number one, demand is coming back, and it's coming back online, and that the locations that you are thinking of, that everybody's thinking of, will be very different from what we have learned over the past many years, is that locations are being decentralized. I guess with the talks of all the high-speed rails and how developments are going further and further away from the Klang Valley City Centre, this was inevitable, but COVID accelerated that demand. A bonus trend, in case people want to know what is really in the heart of the real estate issue in Malaysia, is that, fun fact, 6 in 10 Malaysians can't get a loan. Now, owning a home is like an aspiration that many Malaysians look towards, but unfortunately, more than 60% of mortgage applications are not successful. Now, this is a few multiple reasons, such as wide income price gap, simply can't afford, insufficient financial literacy, unfavorable DSR credit profile. So we sort of worked around this problem, and we wanted to find a solution for it. So we designed and built a solution called PropertyGuru Loan Pre-Approval. So what we did was we essentially redesigned the mortgage application process to introduce not just PropTech, but also FinTech. So because we think that every property decision is almost like a financial decision already tomorrow. And it makes sense, right? Because it's possibly the most expensive purchase or decision that most people will make in their lives. So with this put together, I want to be able to conclude my sharing, and that these are the 4 trends that we've been noticing for Malaysia real estate market. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Very interesting statistics there. But at least in a way, I think it was also timely that I saw your slide first time and said the demand is back, and that's good news for every stakeholders in the market. Yeah. So I see that after an hour of this forum, there's still 100 over people in the chat room with us, and I believe there's a lot of questions coming from them. But before we head to the question, perhaps just for the benefit of the whole forum, if you could do just a roundup of final words from all of you before we open the floor to the questions, because I definitely myself have a lot of questions to all of you, my learned friends here, especially on the recent announcement by the PM. But I wouldn't want to put that as a discussion right now. We'll put it at the Q&A. So perhaps just to go through again from all of you, a final 1 sentence or 2 about the whole outlook for property market, in your opinion, moving forward from what you have seen across different perspectives from different stakeholders. So perhaps I will start again with Sr Michael.
Well, this year, 2020, I'm hearing GDP minus 4 point something %, and but banks are very happy to lend, all out to lend. Actually, I've been talking to bankers every day. The banks are very happy to lend to the right applicant, and what I see is the property market will bounce back in 2021. this year, the probably playground I'm talking about is not literally a location playground. Is that I'm seeing a playground of like a lot of people will come up to play on the market. Meaning, people will be saying, well, what I advise and believe to do is that this is the right time to buy your first home, to buy your ultimate home. You have a house that you wish to sell, if you get the right price, it's the right time to sell because your transaction costs are lower. You can buy two more to downgrade yourself and or buy one to spare. The cost of transaction is low, price of mortgages is low, and it is and banks are eager to lend. Of course, if you are tempted to buy three and there'll be when a playground means there'll be a lot of play coming in. Know what you're buying. Don't buy three to be instant millionaire. It should be sustainable. Yeah, it should be sustainable, and be careful of knowing what you should be doing. Okay, finish. Back to you, Alan.
Thank you so much, Michael. We hear you loud and clear. It's all about going in with the right tools to ace the property investment market at this time. What about you, Dato Leong? Any last words or any advice to the audience who are viewing right now?
Yes, of course. What I really think of is like during this time, the best thing to do is called collaboration. To collaborate. This is the time whereby we should actually join force, not stand alone. For example, like what Ammeny says just now, she said that she has some friends from Hong Kong wants to come to Malaysia and buy some properties, but then they cannot travel over here and we cannot go over there. So that is why indeed that we have changed our marketing arms over there as a one-stop center. There's a lot of people using our one-stop center now. And of course, when they use our one-stop center, because they couldn't fly over here, so they just go over to our one-stop center to understand more about Malaysia in terms of education and anything else if the family wants to move. And also at that time, we take the opportunity to talk about properties. So collaboration is very important at this moment and not to stand alone. I just want to show one little short video that what collaboration we already have, because during these 3 months we have signed we have collaboration with HELP University, HELP Institute, and also we have this Golden Heritage Retirement, and also we have Regus, IWG spaces and all that. Maybe I can share with you that all these things happens because we have a one-stop center and we have collaborated together with all these brands.
The audio is not there.
And of course, my final version is that for those who wanted to expand their brands during this MCO, they can actually use my one-stop center if they want to, because this is a place whereby when we cannot travel, we cannot go against the border, this is the place that whereby we can synergize together and make things work, and we will naturally have our business that keeps on running. This is what I mean about collaboration. Thank you, Alan.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dato Leong. I think when people say picture speaks 1,000 words, your video speaks 1,000,000 words. It's so easy to understand. Ultimately, I get you is that ultimately in property, it's all about also collaboration. You know, you don't fight against each other, create more blood in the street. And I'm glad that despite the Visit Malaysia year that was cancelled, you are doing your part to promote Malaysia across the globe, and I really feel your passion and your patriotism. Thank you so much. Next, could we have a round of perhaps advice or perhaps some wish list that you want to say, Miss Ammeny? The screen is yours.
Hi. All right. Thank you, Dr. Alan. All right, so it's a very impressive video that actually Dato Leong that you are sharing. I would say that actually Singta is actually very creative, and you actually always come up with something very new. When we talk about the property investment, I think the timing is important. So this is the good timing that I would say that it's a low entry timing, because you may get a lot of different kind of package, and also probably you do not need to actually come up with so much of capital for investment, and this is probably a lifetime opportunity. So do not actually miss out the opportunity. This is very, very important. I always wish that as a real estate advisor or consultant in the real estate market, will be able to provide good properties for your investment, or even though that you want to upgrade your property. So this is a part that actually we are happy to also add value to all of you. Okay, and if you have anything that actually you want to know about the property, probably can always give me a call. So if you're one, okay, and thank you so much, and back to you, Dr. Alan.
Thank you, Ammeny. I guess well, we just heard from Ryan, and he made it very clear, and his point is there. But I believe you have anything that you want to share on your view on the market moving forward, Ryan?
Yeah, just a quick one. I think the market is always going to be around. I think demand is still going to be strong no matter what. I think real estate is always going to be a very viable property investment. At the end of the day, I think it's about ourselves, whether we do our homework, our due diligence, and whether we want to take the initiative to look for good deals. The product must be great in the first place. So like talking to people from, say, Sheng or One World, and learning to upgrade yourself, learn more about the market, such as dealing with people like from Fiabci, and even yourself, Superior Wealth Resources, just keeping yourself updated and ready for the opportunity when they come.
Thank you. Well said, Ryan. So I believe I myself has been in the industry for quite some time. I would like to also perhaps just say my piece of advice to some of you who are watching now. Now I know some of you may be overwhelmed with so many statistics and graphics, videos, and so many words of wisdom here. But to me, I believe property is basically, as I agree with Sr Mike Geh, you do not need to go in there for cash quick or whatnot. It's all about perhaps I would say affordability. Perhaps at this current time, when you heard so many news out there, people are losing the jobs, people are trying to go for survival. There's always this thought that, hey, at this time we don't think of other things like who is thinking of buying property. We just make sure we get our things, our job in order and all these things. Well, that is the thing. I always believe that you need to get your finances in order, So if you are thinking that you may not have a first home yet and you are struggling, all hope is not lost. I believe there's always a silver lining in every crisis or even any events. So be hopeful, be positive, work out your yourself in terms of getting a job or an opportunity out there. Make sure that you are all in the green rather than in debt, and then only we can talk about learning and getting all this property installed. So do not rush to go into investment, because I myself, over the last 20 years, I came from the background where I actually invested wrongly first, and then I learned the ropes of the trade. And that is the right reason why today I write a lot in the media, and I give a lot of talks and do a lot of workshops and training. And my passion for property has always been there to make sure that people get to the right way of investing. All right. So for those of you who are there, do not lose hope. There's always a silver lining out there. All right. So with that, we will conclude the forum for tonight. But let's not go and leave the room, because we will have some question and answers to all the learned speakers now. So I will open the floor to the speakers. So if you have any questions right now, you can actually type in the chat box here. And while you're doing that, I will just go through the chat box and just perhaps address your questions to the speakers. Some of you asked the questions. If you have any particular speakers in mind, you can just write their name. If it's not, I will just open the questions to the panel speakers right now. All right. So I think that we have a question here that was asked, I think, half an hour ago. I'm so sorry. Professor Dr. Leanne Britton, you asked about this. Will there be a reduction in the minimum price for expat buyers? So I'm not sure who is this addressed to. Any of your speakers would like to take this question? Will there be a reduction in minimum price for expat buyers? Yeah, I saw your hand raise your hand, Sr Mike.
Yeah, there are current price. You see, prices still matter. Selangor has minimum prices. Yeah, Johor has minimum pricing. Penang is minimum pricing. Yes, there are proposals to. There were requests to reduce the minimum price to 500,000, but I don't see the announcement, so I do not see a price reduction. That it is still maintained at as per the state level. Okay, yeah, I hope I answered that question. Sorry, not directly, but it's indirectly. State is quite clear on which state. You can find out which state, what is the minimum price of purchase. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Alan. Any of the speakers would like to comment on this? Because I believe, example, we do have
Ammeny, maybe Ammeny can comment. Ammeny.
Right. All right. Before the MCO, in fact, the government actually did announce that actually the property price that in KL side, so it will be go down to 600,000. All right. So, but that is actually not many developers in KL city that actually can comply this. So, but somehow I think we will still. I mean, I agree with what Mr. Michael said just now. So in fact, that will be just still go back to like Selangor, the different stage that there will be a different kind of the guidelines and so on. But overall in KL side, I think to be safe, I mean, most of the property is still that can be acquired by the foreigner is still about 1 million at this moment.
All right, thank you. We'll proceed with the next question. This is a question from Benny Tan. He says that with our current political uncertainties, to what extent it will affect our property market? I think all of our speakers can comment on this if you want to.
Politics is something I try not to talk about. But currently I think health and politics is two things that's always in our mind. What I want to say is that when the COVID hit us, the finance ministry had a very excellent response. And our health ministry also is world class actually. With our finance ministry's response. So these two ministries have really defended Malaysia on behalf of every one of us to the surrounding, because on top of the two countries, there there's another country in our neighbor that a lot of people have lost hope, lost trust, actually not hope, lost trust in their healthcare system. Yeah, and also they are also waiting after August and want to come here to Malaysia. So Malaysia is a very lucky country. Yeah, Malaysia is a very lucky country. We just sit in a house, we just under lockdown. Yeah, but people from northeast and south want to come to our country. So I'm very happy to be locked in Malaysia. Over to you.
Yeah, in fact, for me, if I were to comment, political uncertainty definitely will affect the property market. As I know, example, in Chicago, US, as you all know, there's a lot of protests going on there. Property prices has gone down another 15% from its current value. And for those of you who are, of course, investing in overseas, example, in that area, you will gain to benefit better deals. But it's not that we want to see uncertainties or political turmoil to go for good deals. I think political uncertainties in Malaysia it would not be so detrimental to affect the property prices. But of course, with the current pandemic, with the current health crisis that leads to some financial constraints, maybe underperforming developers who are already in the red, who have higher burden with the banks, perhaps those are the ones that will be stretched, and perhaps there will be some good deals. And if you talk about secondary market, for those of you who are not ready, for the owners who are maybe facing financial headwinds in terms of their job or the business, perhaps some of their assets could be liquidated. So I think that is perhaps what we could anticipate.
Well, Dr. Alan, I have something here to comment.
Yeah, please.
Actually, there's quite a number of developers in Malaysia, but not many developers who really focuses on overseas buyers. What we are doing, like we are focusing on overseas buyer, we are doing on cash deals, most of them, and we need the support of the government, of course, with the political stability and all that, because what we bring in from all these countries over the world are real money into Malaysia. We are stimulating the economy. We are helping a lot with the economy. So we are a little bunch of developer, not many of us doing overseas cash. I think a bit neglected. So we, of course, if the government can look into us, and help us more, that we are promoting Malaysia every day with our life. Yeah, and we are bringing money in from Hong Kong, from Japan, China. I don't want to talk about it. We are still bringing a lot of things into Malaysia. We are introducing Malaysia, and of course, this sector of what we are doing, if it's being collaborated again, as I said earlier, with real estate like Ammeny or with our one-stop center, with a lot of big brands, with the president of Michael, Fiabci, first time I see him. Yeah, and when all this thing comes together, we will stimulate the economy. And when we stimulate the economy, of course, this will bring a lot of wealth to Malaysia. And Malaysia will just have to look deeper and more detailed into people that are holding on into Malaysia. We started from Hong Kong. We actually came back home to Malaysia. Of course, it's a wonderful place. But there is a lot of Malaysians who has not come back. Like Robert Koch, he's still in Hong Kong. There's a lot of people made it out of Malaysia but did not come back. So it's a good chance that, during this MCO, that if government can do something to help us and invite all our Malaysians to come back and reunite and help Malaysia to go through whatever crisis we have and hold hands together. This is what I think, because the world is getting smaller. That is called globalization.
Yeah, well said. In fact, I was in Hong Kong last year during the protest when it first broke out, and I also saw a few Malaysian developers are there promoting the business, and I was thinking it's a right move. In fact, to answer this question, I think sometimes when there is political unrest in other countries, it could be an advantage to our neighboring countries, just like Malaysia, when people would like to flee their own home country to come to here to have a good stay, and also to make sure that there's more certainty. All right. So I think the next question is very interesting. Perhaps that one, maybe Dato Leong can comment. The question is by Tae Yi Wen. He says that recently we have many of the retail shop closing down due to COVID-19. So her question is, he or her, the question is this, is what is going to be done with this retail shop or this situation?
Okay, so this is what we face also, because we also own a 5-star hotel, 2 5-star hotel and 1 3-star hotel, which is completed. We also own it. So during this MCO, we tied up. As we said, we cannot stand alone, because when there is a retail or where there is a hotel, that is a brand. We are talking about tying up of the brands. For example, I tying up with Health University, Health Institute. I tying up with Queen's Court. I tying up with Gleneagles. We pull in the brands. I tying up with Old Town. You know, these are the brands that coming into the sale, for example. And the sale have a one-stop center overseas. And we are promoting Old Town actually. We are even promoting Musang King, because we are doing property tourism. And the tourism word is very vast and wide. It includes the meaning of education, wellness, food, culture, and everything. So these brands, when they come to us, they say, oh my gosh, these 3 months I don't have business, my brand's gonna close down. Don't worry, come to our one-stop center. I'll place you under property, tourism, food, if it's like Old Town. So if it's like Musang King, we place it under agriculture. And also, we also approach like this ambassadors from Dutch, the Holland ambassador, the Netherlands ambassador, the Portuguese, even the Chinese during these 3 months, to talk about our property tourism under the bracket of culture, because Melaka itself has a very rich heritage history. So we talk to them about the museum, because we are creating a museum in our place. These are another kind of brand pooling. Pooling meaning we are promoting the brand of Malaysia, to create all these things that people to know all of us. So I really insist that collaboration and holding hands together is still the key word, because if we fight with each other, it's called a red ocean. It's just discount and discount and discount, and then it's free. But if we hold hands, we move to the blue ocean. So that's my comment, and of course this is my sharing.
Can I say something?
Yeah, please.
Can you hear me? Can Dato Sheng hear me? Yeah, when MCO over, I'd like to sit down with you. I welcome you to Fiabci International membership, because that's what we do. We link international members over. And we have international communities everywhere. And I am very energized with your positiveness on your project, which I really admire upfront. So Alan, let's meet up after MCO, yeah? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Michael. Thank you.
That's a good one, Michael. I think every one of us should meet up. I would love to hear from Ryan, who's been very quiet. What is this? Any statistics or data on retail shops on your site? Ryan, are you there?
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Statistics have been encouraging, but I haven't looked specifically into commercial yet, because our focus was residential. But maybe next round.
Okay, that's a good one for help to do a one on commercial or retail. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Ammeny? Anything on this?
All right, I think this one, the retail shops are closing down, and I think this one is actually I also saw another newborn business that during this MCO, especially we're talking about those food delivery, all right, and also a lot of new setup. They are actually taking advantage of maybe some of the unsustainable retail they close down, but they just go in with a very minimum cost to take over. So definitely when something that actually is not working, then there will something also which will be born. I think I saw actually a lot of Malaysian entrepreneur is very, very creative, you see. So during this time, in fact, in the past, they didn't actually saw this delivery business. But with this MCO, in fact, a lot of new business model have been born, and we also have a lot of new startup, okay, want to take over a lot of those business which are closing down. All right. So then, in retails wise, I would say that it will come back slowly, lah. All right.
Yeah.
This is
I totally agree.
Alan,
2021.
because I'm very excited with this. Because we have a 5-star hotel, during the MCO, it cannot operate. But we did not cut staff. So we collaborated with help to use our chef online cooking. You know, they are still working, they are making pizza, cooking, and it's very fun. I learned some cooking too during these 3 months. So it's like the chef are still working, and then they're still making chocolates, doing bakery, and then help university, help Dr. Paul help out, you know, to create online cooking courses, help housewives to earn some income through all these things, and it was quite exciting. So we are still looking very forward for new collaborations, as the word synergize together.
Fantastic, fantastic. Just a quick one for me. Before the MCO, I was also working on a few projects with some of my clients as I do business advisory. Most of them are foreign clients into Malaysia. So on the real estate side, usually I'll come in to advise them on, example, the spaces that they use, such as warehouse to commercial hotels, clients from the wellness side, including retail. So to comment on this retail, basically I also saw that there is this tendency to go online. And today, I think retail mall will not be dead. Retail shops, of course, are those who have closed down, such as the Phase on bubble tea and whatnot. That one I can't do much. But I would say that most of the business who want to start in retail today, they will be still purchasing power. It's just that the new buying behavior will be different. Such as one of my clients who is now taking a few 100,000 square feet of a retail mall and still going in to do it with a twist on using online, which I can't reveal here. But I would say that retail, to answer the question, retail won't be dead. To do about it, I think everyone will have to pivot online. Everyone has to pivot online, and we have actually a precedence to be learned from places like China and Japan, where they were very pioneer into e-commerce. And I think what Dato Leong has been doing is right on track. And I think all of us should meet up, should keep in touch from tonight onwards. I think there's a lot of things that we can do to the Malaysian market. So as also to cater to those audiences who want to buy or who want to know more about the Malaysian market. Yeah. So I think we are good. We have reached already 9:36. I just want to keep everyone, who may be working tomorrow. If there's anything that you all want to just comment before we say goodbye to everyone, just shout out. If there's none, I will just pass the screen back to our host, Help University. On behalf of all the speakers, I would like to thank everyone for being here all the way for the last 90 minutes. And do get to social media websites on Sheng, on Michael Geh on Fiabci, Ammeny Chua from One World Real Estate Group, as well as PropertyGuru Ryan, Head of Marketing, and myself from Superior Resources. Do PM us, do check us out, and with that, I thank you all for being here tonight. I would like to pass the message, the screen back to Caroline for hosting.